I'm just trying to work out and mind my business. Just a little thought. A second one. I had one of my female friends tell me they do not like it when men try to holler at them when they are with their kids. Okay? Many women do not like that.
That's
okay?
awkward.
Yeah, so especially when they're with their child. One, they don't want their child to see
that image.
Exactly, and it's a safety thing too because a lot of these guys becoming so incorrect from what I hear, you know, that they be turned off and then they don't want to have that type of interaction in front of their child. So quit hollering at women at the gym and don't be talking to women when they with their children.
I had a woman tell me once that if you want to meet her or you want to meet another woman, just go talk to her. You don't got, it doesn't have to be, you know, you don't have to put the baby on. All you got to do is just go talk to her, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think we build up, as men, I know we build up the situation so much. We see a girl we're attracted, you want to say something. I understand it, you know what I mean? But if you really want to meet her, just go talk to her.
Just talk to her and be honest. Though the one thing that I've got of all the feedback is honesty. A lot of women have told me that men all lie, and it's tough because I'll be sitting back and unfortunately some do lie, some tell the truth. Same thing, women lie, you know. But I will say the men gonna be mad at me. I do think percentage wise, don't be mad at me, y'all, but I do think men do lie more. Now I do think women tell some of the bigger lies. Like, you know, that's not my baby, or that is your baby, that type of stuff. But just every day, I think men do lie a little bit more, especially the younger men.
I know some pathological liars.
Yeah, I knew of some.
You know what I'm saying? I know some pathological liars, bro. But yeah, that's not a good look.
Nah, not a good look. So hopefully you take the tips. Sometimes people listen, sometimes they don't. I used to give a lot of tips. And in the past few years, I kind of phased out a little bit because I've noticed a lot of people don't listen. And well, they probably watching. I'm not gonna say nothing, but unfortunately, it was a situation I told a female associate about, and she didn't listen. And she came to me a few months ago, and she was like, "Man, I should have listened to you." And it just goes to show sometimes your heart and your mind don't match up. I understand the love thing. Love make you do crazy things when you feel in some type of way with a person, and I understand that. Nobody knows another person's heart, but please be smart. Please be smart. You know, and with that being said, let's switch it up a little bit. Now, today, we in the NBA playoffs.
That's right. Let's talk some
You
basketball.
know, man, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Now we got OKC and Minnesota.
Right.
What's your projections on this series?
I want to say this, though. Ant-Man, you know what I'm saying? You're that man. You know what I'm saying? You're that dude. Let's be completely 100 about that. That dude is on another level. I played basketball in my life. And you get to a point where dudes are talented. Dudes have skills. You have an ability to play a game. But what makes the difference between this guy and that guy ain't got nothing to do with how high you jump. It's got everything to do with what's inside your heart and inside your mind. And that dude's heart is massive.
Yeah.
Now, that's what makes him want to take on LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes him want to, put out the Joker, put out, Golden State out of the playoffs. Anthony Edwards is that guy, and I think the comparisons to Jordan are warranted.
Absolutely.
But here's what I say though. Let me say this though. OKC seems to have a better team.
Better team.
Basketball is still a game. Even the great Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Basketball is still a game that requires a team and a team with good chemistry. And then on top of that, thinking back to the game last night, OKC was the better defensive team. And at this stage of the NBA playoffs, offense ain't winning games anymore. You gotta be able to stop and slow dudes down and get stops. Defense still wins championships.
That's it. Defense wins championships. And go back to Anthony Edwards. I watched him in Georgia. He was a beast. I said, yeah, he gonna be dope. It came down to him and LaMelo Ball. I followed LaMelo Ball when he was in Chino Hills.
He got game too.
And he got game too. I hope he can stay injury free. Yeah,
no doubt.
But Anthony Edwards got that dog in him.
He got dog in him.
He got that dog
I know
in
he's
him.
from Georgia.
Yeah, well, he went to the University of Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to the University of
Where's he
Georgia. I do not know exactly where he was born.
Okay.
But he went to Georgia. We can probably look it up right now. But when I seen him play, I said, that's he's one of him. He's one of him.
He really is.
And I look at this matchup, OKC and Minnesota. You look at Shy, you look at Ant. I think Anthony Edwards is the best basketball player on the court. With that being said, I'm not saying Shy is right behind him, but what I'm saying is I think OKC has a better team,
Right.
1 through 9.
I agree.
I think Minnesota is a 1 through 4 team.
Right.
OKC,
They
they're
like
like
1 through 3.
yeah, and I'm being super respectful for Randall, you know, because
No, I love Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? I wish the Lakers would have never let him walk. I would love to see him and LeBron together on the Lakers. I really do like Julius Randle because he's kind of a throwback player. He's a big, strong, power forward type dude. You know, he took Kobe's advice. He learned how to shoot the jumper, so he's knocking down jumpers. That's why he's a double waiting to happen. I just think, like you touched on, OKC is certainly deeper. I think Dante DiVincenzo, who is a good player, a really good player, and has been a good player in the NBA and was a good player in college, I think he might, at this point, be a little too inconsistent. Rudy Gobert is still a guy who you can't always depend on every night. And, you know, when you look at OKC, you see not only Shea, obviously Chet Holmgren got game. He's hard to guard. He's a big, long-rangey dude. They got Williams. They got dudes on that team that play exceptionally well together. Hartenstein is a guy who's, you know, a big part of that team. And I just think they're the better team. And they may even be the better coached team ultimately, which if that's the case, they're going to win the series.
absolutely. They OKC have a bench. Don't forget about another former Laker, Alex Caruso.
Alex Caruso, love seeing Alex Caruso out there doing his thing.
That dude can ball.
Yeah, he can.
He was on Ant, and he was doing a decent job. I was like, oh, because all you had to do was contain him. You can't stop him.
You know, Minnesota. And I heard a statistic this morning that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had recorded 28 times that he got to the rim, whereas Anthony Edwards had only gotten to the rim 7 times in that game. So that says a lot about the offensive philosophy, I guess, so to speak. I think Minnesota was too passive. Ant's got to be more aggressive, and I think he will. I certainly think he will. They'll probably go through the tape, see what worked, what didn't work, listen to all the different pundits and all the different things that are coming out. I think they're going to make an adjustment. But that was huge. Shea was more aggressive, and then also too, I saw Shea one time. They were playing off of him, trying to give him the 3. I think it was Julius Randle guarding him. They were trying to give him the 3, and he just took his time and then attacked. Julius fell back because he didn't want to give up the drive, and Shea got to his 15, 18-foot area, and man, it was lights out. It was lights out, absolutely. So he's a tough matchup.
Yep.
He's a tough matchup, but they have more tough matchups on the floor than Minnesota does.
Absolutely. And I think this is going to come down to the bench for Minnesota. If the bench can produce, they're going to be all right. But my honest assessment, if I had to judge this series, I don't think OKC going to sweep them, but I'm gonna leap out there and say OKC in 6.
Yeah, that's a good prediction. So they'll go 2 and then 2 and then 5. So 6 would be they'd be back in Minnesota. You know, game 2 is gonna be huge. Game 2 is going to be huge because if they go down 2-0, that means they got their back against the wall a little bit. It's not like being 3-0, but you're going down 2-0.
Yeah.
If you get down 2-0 now, you're going back home, but you're going back home with a team that's beat you already. And if they can beat you at home and they can be decisive win like last night's 26-point win, they can beat you on the road.
Absolutely.
So it's a big game for Minnesota tomorrow.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go with OKC in 6 games. I don't think it's gonna be no sweep, but I'm gonna say 6.
I know I'm supposed to have a prediction. You know what I'm saying? 6 sounds good though. Yeah, I'm gonna say 6. I'll go with 6. I'm gonna be safe. I know that's kind of weak, but I'm gonna say 6. I don't want to be like one of those dudes, trying to be some shock jock dude just so people, OKC in 5. Nah, I don't know. I really don't know. I do think OKC is a better team, and I do think they're gonna win the series. That I will say.
I will go with that. Now to the East, New York and the Indiana Pacers.
Let me ask you, Anthony, how refreshing in your view is it to see somebody other than Boston or, the same old dudes? I like the fact that the Knicks are there for the first time in God knows how long. Indiana's got a good team.
Mm-hmm.
What's my guy's name on Indiana? They're playing good. Rick Carlisle's a great coach.
He could.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That's a tough one because the Knicks are good too, and they got Jalen Brunson, and he's hard to guard.
Yeah, Brunson is a superstar. One thing about this series, I think they got a lot of junkyard dogs on both teams.
Okay.
You look at the Knicks between OG and Mikal Bridges, OG
Right.
Nobley.
Right.
Those some junkyard dogs.
Yeah, they got some dudes.
They do a little bit of everything. And the same thing with Siakam. Junkyard dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Neesmith.